You know what I mean? I think it's a brutal, brutal, brutal kind of fight. I really honestly do. I think somebody's going to get hurt that fight. I'm taking Boots, but Boots got to be a little bit, a little bit more mindful to not get so lazy in the mid-range, because I think Ortiz is a little sharp. Like, damn, I can't believe Julian for hurt on the inside. Well, they don't understand that he's been fighting like that his whole life, in the trenches like that, in the gyms, and that wasn't a big deal to him. That was just a big deal to everybody else. So when it comes to Boots, for years, you hear stories and people try to devalue the stories and say, well, basically he's just a gym fighter. And I'm like, no, I'm just telling you that the information that we have from him and the things that he does in the gyms are so spectacular and so brutal that we know things about him that you guys don't know. And then you guys kind of get a little annoyed and aggravated when you hear these stories, but they're just the truth. So he's a brutal fighter. He doesn't have the Mike Tyson like aura about him, where I'm the baddest man in the world with the black trunks and things. Boots is kind of quiet.
As anticipation continued building for Jaron Boots Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz Jr., boxing experts shared their predictions on who would have the advantage. With both undefeated fighters known for their power, skill, and aggression, many believed the matchup had the potential to become a major test for both men.
Stylistically, to me, the hardest fight for Boots is Vergil Ortiz. That's my honest opinion. Vergil Ortiz, Boots got them long, kind of like gangly arms, right? And sometimes he load up a little bit, and Vergil Ortiz punch short and compact, right in the mid-range on the inside, right where Boots like it. And in exchanges, Vergil Ortiz, I don't think he's as fast as Boots for like combinations of punches, but I do think that if Boots is throwing single shots, that Vergil's short, compact punches can get there. Because one thing Vergil don't play like Boots play. Boots sometimes put his hands down, he lean back, he do all kinds of stuff.
Roll the shots.
Yeah, Boots does a lot of stuff where Vergil kind of just stays in one place and just fires right from where he's at. So in my opinion, I still think Boots can beat Vergil.
Adding to the discussion, Chris Mannix saw Vergil Ortiz Jr. as a major test for Jaron Ennis. He highlighted Ortiz's knockout ability and stressed that Boots would need better defensive discipline, a stronger jab, and fewer risky exchanges. Mannix believed Ennis could learn from his recent performance and make the necessary adjustments before facing another elite opponent.
Ortiz is a killer, one of the best finishers in all of boxing. You've got to shore up that defense. You got to move a little bit more. Be willing to box a little bit more. Throw that jab a little bit more. These are all lessons I think Boots will take from that. And maybe you're happy about it, right? Like, if you had fought Vergil Ortiz right away, maybe you fight like that, and Vergil, maybe he knocks you out. Right. Now, you get a learning experience from it. When we go into that, let's make it happen. Let's just make it happen. Give me that fight, please. I'm begging you.
Meanwhile, Chris Algieri made it clear that Vergil Ortiz Jr. was a fighter he strongly believed in, praising his talent and ability to compete with anyone on any given night. While acknowledging the difficulty of the matchup, Algieri viewed Ortiz's skill set and potential as enough to make the fight a fascinating challenge.
To be fully transparent, Vergil's my guy. With the level of talent he has, he can beat anybody on any given night. So, yeah, it's a really interesting time.
Looking at the matchup, Jesse Bam Rodriguez viewed Jaron Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz Jr. as a fight boxing fans wanted to see. Although he avoided picking a winner because of his relationship with both fighters, he acknowledged his connection to Ortiz as a teammate. Rodriguez believed the matchup would benefit the sport and felt it was only a matter of time before it happened.
That's a very good fight for the fight fans. I have a good relationship with both fighters, so I don't really want to speak on it, but Vergil being my teammate, you know how that works. But like I said, the fans are the real winners at the end of the night, so hopefully it does happen, because boxing does need that fight. Boxing is, they want that fight very bad, and I think both fighters do as well, so I feel like it's just a matter of time before it happens.
Breaking down the matchup, Breadman believed Jaron Ennis would have to be ready for Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s explosive offense and non-stop pressure. He felt Boots had the defensive ability to deal with Ortiz's attacks, but needed to stay sharp and avoid mistakes. While acknowledging Ortiz's power and skill, Breadman leaned toward Ennis because he believed the weaknesses shown in the Bohachuk fight could be exploited.
Boots will have to adjust from a guy that's getting off right from the point of attack. I think he can. He knows how to hold his hands up. He just has to, his dad chewed him out, so he just has to, listen a little bit, and I think he'll be okay. But that's the little adjustment that he will have to make, because Vergil gets off from the high guard, and they're not light punches. He's ripping them. Vergil's a talented dude, man. I like Vergil. But the Bohachuk fight is why I would pick Boots. to be honest with you. That's why I would pick Boots in the fight, because I think Boacek is an excellent guy, but I think that he had too much success against Vergil for Vergil to beat Boots.
Offering a different angle, Sergio Mora viewed Jaron Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz Jr. as a 50-50 fight, with both fighters capable of changing the outcome instantly. He gave Ennis a slight edge for his defense, reach, and bodywork, while noting Ortiz's aggression could create openings. Mora expected an explosive matchup with knockout potential.
Ortiz gets hit too. He gets rocked. He gets controversially knocked down as well. He would deny it, but the truth is there. We could see, we have eyes. Boots is the same way. This is the type of fight with Boots and Ortiz, when it happens, one of the biggest fights in boxing against two power punchers that are susceptibly defensively because they're so front foot. They go for the knockout. When you have knockout punchers, you're bound to get touched. The difference is Boots rolls with the shots. He takes a little bit of the steam off the shots. He knows how to use his long frame and still dig to the body. Vergil, on the other hand, he'll get up after getting dropped, shake his head, and put it in another gear, in a meaner gear. That can work against a mean fighter like Vergil and run into shots, especially if you're buzzed. So when it does happen, hold on. It's going to be explosive. Someone's going to get knocked out. And I always pick a side, right, Mannix? I always say, oh, well, this guy's going to be the favorite. That's a legitimate 50-50 fight.
However, one analyst backed Vergil Ortiz Jr. to come out on top against Jaron Boots Ennis, believing Ortiz's constant pressure and relentless pace could be the key factors. While recognizing Ennis as an elite talent, the analyst questioned whether Boots had faced enough high-level competition and felt Ortiz possessed the ability to defeat any champion at 154 pounds.
I think he'll outwork Boots. Boots is a great fighter, don't get me wrong, but who is he for? We haven't seen him really be tested yet. Vergil can beat any of the champs at 154.
Continuing the discussion, Sean Zeidel saw Vergil Ortiz Jr., Jaron Ennis as one of boxing's biggest potential fights. He believed Ortiz's pressure, speed, combinations, and jab could force Boots into close exchanges. Zeidel also felt Ortiz had the power and athletic ability to match Ennis, making it a highly competitive matchup between two elite fighters.
He's not known for his velocity, but he does bring really good punching velocity, aka speed, and he's an incredible combination puncher, and he's not going to make the mistake of what you're saying of trying to outbox Vergil or Jaron Ennis. He's going to make it a firefight and go blow for blow, and oh my God, on paper, what a fight that should play out to be. And he has more firepower than Xander Zayas, and he's meaner and more ferocious than Xander Zayas, whose advantage over Ortiz is supposed to be his boxing acumen and a little bit more versatility to moving around the ring and all that. But Ortiz has an excellent jab, an excellent double jab, very fast hands that can challenge the hand speed in the exchanges of Jaron Ennis, and power that can challenge the punching power of Jaron Ennis in those vicious exchanges that are sure to break out.
Adding another viewpoint, Max Kellerman viewed Jaron Boots Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz Jr. as a closely matched fight. He gave Ennis a slight edge because of his size, reach, and defense, but acknowledged Ortiz had faced tougher competition. Kellerman believed beating Ortiz would further prove Ennis belongs among boxing's elite.
The taller, longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, absolutely. And that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. Yeah. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favored.
Yeah.
He should be the betting favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought the much, much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov, very quality win. Madrimov gave Crawford all he could handle.
This fight happens and Boots wins a close, tough fight. Then he is at least what we think he is.
Meanwhile, Andy Rozier favored Jaron Boots Ennis against Vergil Ortiz Jr., believing Ennis's skill, speed, and overall talent would make the difference. However, he still respected Ortiz's power and aggression, expecting a highly competitive fight filled with action.
Listen, I love the fight. I have to definitely side with nephew. Boots is, I think his talent is very, very, very good, and I think it's going to be difficult. But Vergil is a monster. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it.
Abbas Barrow also believed Jaron Boots Ennis would come out on top against Vergil Ortiz Jr. He praised Ennis's career progress and the work he had put in, viewing him as a highly skilled and tough competitor. Barrow felt Boots had the ability to overcome the challenge and secure the victory.
And you say there about sort of the opportunity. Does it feel better now, when, especially sort of coming up, there was times where, people they didn't want to open the door to you, they didn't want to give you that opportunity. So to now almost feel like you kicked the door through, does that feel a little bit better, would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. It showed that the discipline, the hard work.
Sharing a similar view, Danny Garcia saw Jaron Boots Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz Jr. as the type of fight that could elevate boxing's next generation. He praised both fighters as talented, ambitious contenders with championship goals, but ultimately leaned toward Ennis. Garcia believed Ortiz's pressure-heavy style could create opportunities for Boots and match up well with Ennis's skills.
What I'm talking about. So if he don't feel you got any punch, guess what? He's willing to stand there and exchange with you. He
literally got hurt.
That's fine.
He got hurt.
That's fine.
So he knew that he had.
But did you see? But did you see the reaction that he made?
Yes.
He stuck. He tied him up. He bought himself some time, and then what did he do? He came back and blitzed him with combinations.
Yes, but he can't do that with everybody.
He won't do that with everybody.
I don't know. That might be him because, like I said, he's a Philly fighter. He loves to fight. And
but did you see that? No, but did you see that in the standing on this fight? No, he didn't. He started using movement early on.
Furthermore, Jermaine Ortiz explained that he once saw Jaron Boots Ennis as the obvious favorite, but his opinion shifted after seeing how the matchup had developed. He felt Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s power, aggression, and finishing ability made him a serious threat and gave him a legitimate chance to win.
Styles make fights. Before I would have said Boots, no problem, but after seeing him being vulnerable and getting hurt, now I can say, Vergil has a puncher's chance.
Shifting the focus toward Ennis's future, Mike Coppinger revealed that Jaron Boots Ennis remained focused on building a legacy and becoming undisputed. However, he also reported that discussions were underway between Eddie Hearn and Luis de Cubas regarding a potential Sebastian Fondora versus Boots Ennis fight later in the year, possibly in November or December.
And Boots is a legacy fighter. He wants to be undisputed, but I'm told, more importantly, that right now there are talks going on between Eddie Hearn and Luis de Cubas regarding a Boots Ennis-Fundora fight for November or December of this year. There are talks going on already.
Meanwhile, Jaron Boots Ennis viewed a potential fight with Sebastian Fondora as a major opportunity, pointing to Fondora's championship status and unusual size. He highlighted Fondora's height and physical advantages as factors that would make the matchup a significant challenge.
Fight because he got a belt and he's 6'5". Or 6'6" or something like that.
On the other side, Sebastian Fondora had also entered the conversation, calling for a showdown with either Jaron Boots Ennis or Vergil Ortiz Jr. as the welterweight division continued heating up.
It's simple. I'll beat them both. I think those are great fights. Great fights. Again, being of the zone, all of us now. I think that's fights that have to happen now,
However, not everyone viewed Fondora's path the same way. Brian Norman Sr. questioned whether Fondora had faced the same level of competition as Ennis, suggesting that he had taken a safer route by pursuing more favorable matchups instead of stepping into a fight with Boots.
Right now, because of the test and weathered and the experience, right now, Fondora. No, it's a good matchup. It's a very intriguing matchup. He hasn't been through what these people been through, so to me, he's looking for the perfect flat-footed fighter or the perfect fighter that's going to make him look wonderful, make him look great, and that's all he's looking to do.
Offering a different perspective, Bomac highlighted Sebastian Fondora's improvements since his first career setback, praising the way he rebuilt himself with strong performances against quality opposition. He also gave credit to Jaron Boots Ennis for overcoming a major challenge and believed the division was now set up for the big fights fans had been demanding.
You look at Fondora with the range and the height he got, even though he'd been beat before, since then he's just been cleaning them up. And so we all waiting to see, when those 2 or 3, like the 4 kings, when they tangle. So we, as boxing fans, we just sit back and wait.
Is it kind of nice to not be part of that, the politics? You could be a fan,
I love it.
You don't have to deal with the nonsense, right?
I love it, man. I love it. I love the part that, like you said, just sit back and watch them, see how it all play out.
Yeah.
And so, Boots, he got over that hurdle.
Yeah.
Looking at the matchup, Eddie Hearn believed defeating Sebastian Fondora would require more than just skill. it would demand the ability to adapt throughout the fight. He felt Jaron Ennis had the intelligence, versatility, and tools needed to handle Fondora's unique style, while acknowledging that Fondora's height, reach, and awkward approach made him a difficult opponent for anyone.
You've got to be good enough to adapt to everything, and that's the problem. A lot of these guys, no disrespect to Keith Thurman, but he's been done for a while. Yeah. But Tim Tszyu, these kind of guys, they're all great fighters, but they just can't adapt to styles. Josh has got an unbelievable IQ. Boots has probably got the best IQ in the game, I think. They can adapt in those kind of fights, and that's what you need to do, because Fondora is a massive problem. Yeah. Because how do you prepare for it? I mean, so until you get in there, start getting hit by these fucking arms coming from anywhere.
Eddie also praised Ennis's adaptability, pointing out that Boots had the ability to win fights in different ways. He explained that Ennis could use his movement and box from range, or stay in the pocket and exchange, making him a threat against any type of opponent.
Yeah, but what, do you get what I'm saying? I do. But Boots will sit in the pocket, he will fight you, he will attack you, he can box off the back foot, but he actually likes to come and fight.
Shifting the focus, Paul Malignaggi felt Sebastian Fondora had made significant improvements since his earlier fights. He highlighted Fondora's better movement, range management, and overall growth, while emphasizing that his toughness and physical advantages still made him a difficult challenge for anyone in the division.
Fondora's made a lot of adjustments to his style since he's getting better. Fondora's getting better, and Fondora's becoming more and more difficult to deal with. He's understanding how to adjust his distance, and a guy who knows how to measure his distance at 6'5", 6'6", at junior middleweight is very, very tough. This Fondora is a bit more difficult to get to, because he knows how to take the half steps back, push out, slide in and slide out, and make you pay. And he can still punch, and he's still resistant.
However, Stephen Bredman believed Jaron Boots Ennis had the ability to end a fight with Sebastian Fondora before the later rounds. He felt Fondora's size and limited head movement could leave openings for a precise puncher like Ennis. While recognizing Fondora's improvements with his jab and range control, Bredman believed those defensive gaps could become a major problem against Boots.
I think Boots, people are not going to like this, right? I think Boots could get Fondora out there early. Because I think that stylistically, Fondora is too big of a target. And you give a sharpshooter like that a big target, he's going to be able to hit him anywhere. He's not going to be able to miss him. Boots throws real good looping shots. Fondora's using his jab more, and he's using the distance more, but he still can't move his head. Nobody 6'6" can move their head.
Taking his analysis further, Stephen Edwards recognized that Sebastian Fondora's size, jab, and toughness make him a difficult matchup for anyone. However, he pointed to Fondora's knockout loss to Brian Mendoza as proof that he can be hurt. Edwards believed Jaron Boots Ennis had the style to take advantage of those moments, with his accuracy, power, and finishing ability potentially leading to an early stoppage. He also praised Boots' aggressive mindset, believing that approach could be crucial against Fondora.
He's a difficult guy. He has a very unique skill set because he's 6'6" with a jab and he has heart. But we got to remember, Fondora was knocked out brutally by Brian Mendoza. Like, that really happened. Everybody wants to act like it didn't happen, but it happened. And I think Boots, I'm not sure. I think Boots stopped Fondora within like 3 rounds, like on some Hagler Hearns, just brutality. Yeah, I think he's just too big of a target. And I'm telling you, Mills, Boots is mean. He's a mean dude. He doesn't act like it, and because he don't talk, everybody think that like he's not. He's a mean little sadistic type of dude that like want to beat on you and hurt you. And I think you got to be like that with Fondora because you can't play with him.
Meanwhile, Sean Zeidel felt Sebastian Fondora had developed into a more complete fighter by maximizing his physical advantages. He highlighted Fondora's improved use of range, timing, and patience, explaining that smarter decision-making and better control of distance had made him a much more difficult opponent despite his defensive limitations.
Better at using that height. He's gotten a lot better at doing it. It's making him harder to beat. But the downside of his frame is his waist is not flexible, and thus there's going to be really no head movement from Sebastian Fondora. His defense is his offense, and his defense, what makes him harder to hit is using the most of his distance and of his height and having a good sense of distance, when not to force the uppercut, which he doesn't do anymore really, when to, the right punch at the right distance, and the volume of punches is his defense. But I felt that he did show being more defensively sound, and he even took a step back once or twice or 3 times, which for him is a significant development, okay? This is a guy who would just go downhill, downhill, downhill off his jab, and you could just wing shots, and he's going to be right there, and you're going to knock his head.
From a tactical perspective, Gary Russell Jr. believed Jaron Ennis would have to approach Sebastian Fondora differently than most opponents. He emphasized that Fondora's unusual height and reach would create a unique challenge, making a standard mid-range battle difficult. Russell felt Boots would need to pressure forward, move his head consistently, and combine sharp offense with strong defense to handle Fondora's physical advantages.
He really have to go chase his man down. It's always like they either the same height. The styles make it where as though they just like in the center pocket, middle of the ring, and they just going like skill for skill. You know what I mean? With this 7'8" tall guy, he like 7'8". He's not about to stand there. He might. You know, but Boots is really going to have to show a different side of his ability. He's going to have to walk forward. He's going to have to move his head a lot more, not just be defensive discipline, but he's going to have to work in between. He's going to have to be defensive and offensively equally as good. You know what I mean? He's going to have to work it together simultaneously.
As the debate around Jaron Boots Ennis versus Sebastian Fondora continues to grow, opinions remain divided. Some believe Boots' speed, accuracy, and skill set could expose Fondora's defensive flaws, while others feel Fondora's size, reach, and improvements could create serious problems. If these two finally meet, it could become one of the most intriguing matchups in the division. Who do you think would come out on top? Share your prediction in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing news, analysis, and updates.